We're on the way to the gym for my final session of the week. At the minute I'm doing like 3 full body sessions just with the amount of martial arts training I'm doing. It's the most suitable thing for me. Anyone doing a 3-day split should probably follow something along those lines in terms of full body rather than like a bro split, or even upper lower and full body would also be good. But I'll take you through the session. I'll show you my approach. So my style of training has changed a lot over the years. Before it used to be very bodybuilding emphasised, because it was all about getting big, or it was all about getting ripped. Whereas now it's more geared towards my sport and functionality and being able to perform well and longevity also. So I'll show you my approach now. It's probably a little bit different to what traditional training looks like in terms of strength training, but a lot of the concepts still remain the same. Lift heavy weights, try and get strong as much as you can with some extra sprinkled in around it, like plyometrics and mobility, just so I'm feeling good and functional. First things first, a bit of mobility. So I'll just go through like 3 or 4 different mobility exercises. First one, simple, it's just a dead hang. Get those shoulders warmed up. I'll hang around here for about 90 seconds. So now into Cossack squats. Just to open up those glutes and groin area. So next we're going to just do a bit of core rotation. We probably don't do enough rotational movement anymore in general. So this really helps just get that twisting motion of the spine going. And if you've any bit of stiffness in your back, this is a great movement to incorporate. So next up, we're going doing some plyometrics. Plyometrics are the fountain of youth for your joints. It's that explosive, springy motion. A lot of us, as we get older, especially past our 30s, tend to move explosively a lot less. You tend to stop sprinting, you tend to stop playing sports, whereas this keeps everything firing as it should. So leaps is the first one, and it's just literally like hops or leaps, whatever you want to call them. You really want to have a spring in your step. So next up we've skater bones. Split stance, low ceiling, lateral split jumps. I think that's what it's called. Good, like they're really good for your body, like that bounciness, explosiveness you need for sports. So that's mobility and plyometrics done. Nice and warm after that anyway, so moving on to the weights next. So on to the belt squat then for our first weights exercise. Great machine, especially if you have any issues with your spine and you don't want to axially load the spine. Then the belt squat puts the weight through the hips with the belt. So we'll do a few warm-up sets here first before we get on to the big boy weights. So on to my second warm-up now. Another 220s added. As we go through the warm-up sets, the weight goes up but the reps go down, because you don't want to tax yourself too much for the working sets, but you do want to prime the body for them. So I'm going to do about 6 reps here. I done 8 reps for the first warm-up set. Another warm-up set has the problem of being really strong. Do a lot of warm-up sets. I'll just do 2 reps this time. Third warm-up set now. But I'm treating each warm-up set like it's a working set, as in my form is perfect, the speed at which I descend and ascend is on point. So you always treat it the same as a working set, because you're preparing for the working set as well. You don't need to rest as much between your warm-ups, like there's probably a minute between getting the weights and putting them on and stuff. You don't need to rest as much, just only between your working sets is where you need that extra time to reset and recover, so you're not flaying the muscle too much. My last warm-up set, I'll just do 1 rep here. Easy. So we're gonna go for 180 today for my top set, and then we'll back off probably to maybe 160. So I'll rest a little bit longer between this one, because it was my last warm-up set. And obviously the top set, you want to feel fresh going into it. I actually only got 2 workouts in last week, so it was like a bit of a deload, so I'm feeling fresh this week. So I'm expecting this 180 to move well enough. Anywhere between 4 to 6 reps. A method that I learned, I suppose, only a few years back was like the top set and back off set method. Whereas before, people use their sets like pyramids. Everyone I learned from initially would have used 3 working sets or 4, and they'd do their last working set as their hardest set. But if you think about it, that's very counterintuitive, because you're going to be freshest at your first working set, so your top set, right, which is after you've warmed up, that's when you're freshest. So you should do your heaviest set then back off from there 15-20%. And then if you do decide to do more sets, which I don't think you really need, I'm a big proponent of like Dorian Yates' style, Mike Metzer, like they're 1 set all out. I am like a little bit in between the higher volume and that, so 2 working sets typically. That was tough. Rest now for about 3 minutes. It's especially important for your compound lifts that you want to rest more. Your body will require more rest for that to perform optimally in the next set. Whereas your accessory movements, you will get away with less rest, you know. 1 minute to 90 seconds for like delts or arms is suffice. Now I'm backing off. I've took off 2 10s. I'm going for 160. 6 to 8 reps for the second set is what I'm aiming for. Onto the next exercise is superset, incline dumbbell chest press and chest supported row. Swam first. One more warm-up set. Just a primer for the heavier weights. Onto the top set. Aim for about 6 to 8 here. Sweaty fella. That's what hard work looks like now, lads. About 2 minutes rest between the top set and back off set. Dropping the weight by about 10% down to 40s for this incline and supported, or this incline press and chest supported row. I do not recommend this. It's risky. Don't try this at home or the gym. Alright, let's go. Sweating. Leg curls next. You always hear people say more curls, more girls, don't you? But what they really mean is more leg curls, more girls. Girls love a set of hamstrings. You only need one warm-up set for this because legs are pretty warm already from the squats. Up to about 84 kgs in this. So I'll do about 8 to 10 reps. If I was cutting weight now, I would actually utilise my time in between my sets and I'd be walking around getting my steps in. It's a very simple hack. If you walk during your rest periods, you can easily rack up another 2,000 or 3,000 steps. Last working set of this, backed off by 10%. And the leg extensions. One warm-up set as well for the leg extension. Again, the legs are already warm, so a little warm-up, get the blood in, a bit more blood into the quad. So I done 104 kgs there for about 12 reps. Back it off about 95. Try and get around the same as well, 12, 15 reps that way. So we're on to seated lateral raises now. Just going to warm up first. The mistake people make with that exercise is they try and swing with it too much. The seating actually takes the swinging out of it a lot more than if you're standing. But even when they're sitting, they're still trying to use momentum to get the weights up. Whereas you really want to think like the delt is doing all the movement. It's better even on the cables to control it, but I really like seated as well. I actually do both of them in my current split. Once you can control it right, I feel like you get really good activation in the delt. So onto the top set here. 60 here always before every set. Has to be done. Doing machine curls next, but I won't be fucking curling this anyway. Whoever was curling this is a fucking absolute machine. Quick warm up here first. Trying to the top set now. We're going to do 60 kgs here, try and get around 6 to 8 reps roughly. Back off, drop 10 kgs and we go again. Rest for about 90 seconds here and the accessory movements. So I'm still doing some bodybuilding stuff, like, because it's not really bodybuilding, it's just strength training, you know. Whereas the style of it, I do like more dumbbells, more barbells. It's more to recruit those stabilizing muscles that I need for being in weird situations when I'm grappling. You get in weird positions wrestling and doing Jiu Jitsu, even striking. When I'm striking, I want my shoulders to have plenty of strength, not just be stiff. Like when you're lifting machines, like do a lot of that, they create like a certain range of motion that you can only work within, whereas free weights, you have to stabilize stuff more. So it's helping you recruit those muscles, and I just feel way more looser and limber than I used to. I do go through phases where I get into stretching. I do need to do more stretching for sure, but after my workouts, like striking, usually we do like a bit of stretching to cool down. Like before I couldn't kick above my hip, now I can kick someone in the head if I want to. It's my new favourite tricep exercise. It's really good for the long head, and just when you're on your knees rather than standing, you just have a more stable base. Feels easier to get that contraction. Top set. Now we'll back off. So I finished the workout then with some plate grabs, about 2 sets of 8 here. So this translates then over to Jiu Jitsu for grip strength. So that's the workout done and dusted. Picked up a can of Pocari Sweat. It's like an electrolyte drink afterwards. Replenish a little bit, but you can see the workout. It's a mixture of functional work, mobility, plyos with strength. The minute 3 sessions per week is all I'm doing. It's more than enough. I hit all the muscle groups twice per week with that. So if you're interested in seeing more of the workouts that I do and would like to learn more about my approach, then make sure to subscribe. And if you have any questions, drop it in the comments below.